Hello, everyone, and welcome to our FODMAP chat session on surviving the holiday season. My name is Alana Scott. I am the CEO and founder of A Little Bit Yummy, and joining me today is a Monash dietitian, Emily Clarke, from the Monash University FODMAP diet team. Hello, Emily.
Hi, Alana. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Now, the holiday season is really complex when you're on the low FODMAP diet, and a lot of people have a lot of anxiety around it. So I'm hoping in today's chat session, you can share some helpful tips with us and give us some, practical guides on how we can make this time period a little less stressful. So let's get started. My first question for you, Emily, is do you have any easy low FODMAP swaps that can help people convert their favorite holiday recipes?
Yes, I do. Look, Christmas and the holiday season, my favorite time of year. Stressful for everyone, but can be even more so for people who have IBS, as there's lots of different social outings and lots of different foods they wouldn't normally be having as well. So there are different ways that you can make sure that you're swapping for low FODMAP options so that you can enjoy the holiday time as much as everyone else does. Some key things in particular are things like your gravies and salad dressings. They do tend to be made with garlic and onion and a few other high FODMAP ingredients. So when you're preparing those, you can either buy a brand that you know is Monash FODMAP certified, or you can swap out the ingredients with some infused olive oils. So we've got certified onion olive oil, we've got certified garlic olive oils, or you can even have a go at making your own and just making sure that you're straining out the actual garlic and onion. So they're a really great alternative for those. Things like your stuffings as well can be made with a gluten-free bread or breadcrumbs. There's no reason why you can't enjoy the stuffing as well. And even with your glazes, so instead of using a honey glaze, swap it out for a maple glaze. They're the key ones around the main meals. But then you've even got things like your entrees or platters that people make. They're a really great starter. Quite often they have breads or biscuits that may be high in FODMAP, so just making sure that there are some rice crackers or something available on those as well. And even things like your salamis or really high processed meats, swap for a more leaner meat like a smoked salmon or a ham variety. And when you've got the cheese and the dips out as well, just make sure you know your low FODMAP serve size or what sort of size you can tolerate so that you can enjoy it as much as everyone else does and make sure that you're not experiencing any symptoms there. And then, of course, with desserts, you've got things like your fruit platters. And at that time of year, we see lots of cherries, mangoes, strawberries, those sorts of things, which can also be quite high in FODMAP. So swapping out for some kiwi fruits, some pineapples. There's lots of other different fruits available like dragon fruit and cantaloupe that you can have. And again, checking the low FODMAP serve size on those so that you can still enjoy it, have something sweet. And my final one is when you're making Christmas puddings or mince pies, actually have a go at making it yourself. Using a flour like a rice or a buckwheat flour can help make it low FODMAP. Checking what fruits you're putting in there can be really good as well. And again, have a go at making your own lactose-free ice cream or brandy butter sauce to put on top as well.
Oh, those all sound delicious. Now, your Monash University FODMAP diet app is going to be your best friend while you're making swaps.
Absolutely.
Lots of those suggestions that Emily just talked about, you're going to find listed. So if you're looking for your low FODMAP fruit options for your cheese board, then head to your Monash University FODMAP diet app and you'll find so many options in there, and also so many options for cheese. I'm a lover of those cheese boards as well.
You and me both.
That's so tasty. So thank you for those tips. Obviously, making those swaps into recipes really helps give you more options. But the other thing I find people really struggle with is actually starting the conversation with their friends and family about the fact that they are on a medical diet and that some things might need to change at sort of the holiday table. Do you have any tips that you'd like to share to help start that conversation or to make things a bit more practical?
Yeah, definitely. It is a bit of a sensitive topic, and it's not one that everyone's actually aware of what it is or what the symptoms are, and what exactly the diet is. So just explaining that it's not a fad diet that you're following. You do have a medically diagnosed condition, and the symptoms of IBS can really impact your day and how stressed you might get on the day. So just bringing that up well in advance, so giving people time to understand what sort of changes they need to make, if they need to modify their recipes for you, give them a bit of time to make sure that they've trialed it beforehand and sort of had a bit of time to experiment and make sure they've got those ingredients on the day. It's really important to highlight your triggers. So everyone has different tolerance levels of different foods. So know which triggers you have, highlight that in some recipes that you know are going to be prepared on the day. And again, giving people time to sort of experiment and make sure they can accommodate to you. If they don't have any recipes, you can always show them the Monash FODMAP app or the website, and there's some great recipes there to make them a lower FODMAP option. Most people do tend to be understanding if you just give them enough time. It is a stressful time for everyone, so just to help alleviate that stress for them.
Absolutely agree. And the other thing that can be super useful is maybe taking something to share or a dish with you on the day so that you know there's definitely going to be something on that table you can enjoy. And as Emily mentioned, like you've got time to play and experiment with your recipes now, and there's no need for these low FODMAP recipes to taste any different or any less flavorsome than your regular holiday recipes. So just remember that. These are fantastic tips, Emily. So thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Another common question we get throughout the holiday season is, are there any strategies you can use before going out for your holiday meal that can maybe help put the odds in your favor and reduce those chances of getting symptoms later on?
Absolutely. Again, it's all about preparing ahead to alleviate the stress for everyone around the situation. So if you're going to a restaurant or to someone else's house, call ahead, see what's going to be on the menu. Most people can be accommodating with enough sort of notice. For yourself on the day, if you know there's likely to be a few higher FODMAP options on the menu, make sure that the rest of your day you are sort of having low FODMAP foods or foods that are low in your triggers, because FODMAPs do tend to be a cumulative effect. So if you're having higher FODMAPs throughout the day, you're more likely to experience these symptoms later on. Another thing you can do, especially if you're going to a restaurant, is ask for those FODMAP sauces or condiments to be served on the side. That way you can choose how much you're having with your meal, if at all. You can always order foods that you know are lower in FODMAP, so making sure you've got your proteins there. So things like meat tend to be naturally lower in FODMAPs, and look for the options that have your potatoes, carrots, rice, and those sorts of things that do tend to be lower in FODMAPs. Another key thing is to make sure you're drinking lots of water. If you do experience symptoms, you can get dehydrated quite quickly, and that's just going to make you feel a bit worse. So make sure you're staying hydrated throughout the day as well. And of course, our tolerance levels and symptoms change all the time. So this could be a perfect opportunity to maybe try and reintroduce a food that you haven't tried for a while and see if maybe your tolerance level has changed to this food as well.
Oh, I love that. Tolerance levels change all the time. So if you haven't jumped into your FODMAP reintroductions, then you might want to use the time before the holiday period just to test, one or two of them and see if you can bring those back into your diet. So those were fabulous tips. Now, if you do go somewhere or even have some high FODMAP foods at home over the holiday season, does that mean you need to restart the first phase of the low FODMAP diet?
Absolutely not. Look, if you do experience symptoms and they are quite severe, they do tend to resolve naturally on their own after a number of hours or days. But it is sort of a time to take care of yourself. It is a joyful time, but it can also be quite a stressful time. So make sure you relax, find some time to unwind and get lots of rest afterwards. Go for a nice walk, maybe go with someone. Talk about all the fun times you had. If there's things that are stressing you, make sure you're talking to someone about those as well. And again, drinking lots of water and just looking after yourself in these time. It is a stressful time, but it's a really fun time as well.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of if you've eaten something high FODMAP and had a reaction, I'm assuming that reaction is going to pass after a couple of days as that high FODMAP food moves out of your system. Is that correct?
Yeah, it does. And look, if you are really struggling, it can be a time to take things simple, make it simple, have lots of things that you know are low in FODMAPs and you know don't cause triggers for you. So just keeping it simple and being gentle those next few days will make a difference as well.
Fabulous. Thank you for those tips. And then my final question for this quick little holiday season session is, where do you like to go to find low FODMAP holiday recipes?
Yeah, so we have on our website, monashfodmap.com, we have lots of great recipes. There's blog posts that have been dedicated to the holiday period and recipes have been put up there. We've got recipes on the Monash FODMAP app. And then, of course, a little bit yummy. There's so many great recipes there by Alana and guests there as well. So making sure you check out all of those resources.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Emily. And thank you for the shout out. It has been an absolute pleasure chatting to you today about tips for surviving the holiday season. Now, just remember, if you would like to support Monash University and the work they do in this space, then please go to the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and download the Monash University FODMAP Diet app. That is your little FODMAP Bible, and it will help you navigate the holiday season so much better. And the money you invest in that app goes straight back into low FODMAP research. So you're helping the community as well. Emily, thank you again for joining us. It's been a lovely chatting to you. And we really hope to see you again in another one of these chat sessions sometime soon.
Definitely. Thank you, Alana. And I hope everyone has a merry and safe holiday period.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays, everyone. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.
Bye.